Fellas, welcome to a long requested video. Today we'll be going over 4 of some of my favorite gun builds. Now I've been putting off this video for 2 main reasons. 1, I ain't exactly Albert Einstein when it comes to weapon attachments and weapon builds, so this won't exactly be your Giga Beef level of information, more of a homeless guy on the side of the street telling you about religion. And second, I don't really know how to format this, but since y'all voted for this video on the poll for after I got back from my trip, I am back now, and we are diving head first into this bitch. We going knuckle deep in the pussy. With all that being said though, let's hop straight into it. So we got 4 weapon builds for y'all today. 2 DMRs, a submachine gun, and just a normal assault rifle. First we'll start off with the HK416. Very similar to the M4. Honestly, don't exactly know what separates them. There's definitely a good bit, but holds the same platform, the 5.56, and if I had to choose between the M4 and the HK416, well, I'd choose the M4. However, the HK416 is still very fun to use. With that being said, our stats for the HK416 build is 4.8 pounds, 45 ergonomics, 69 vertical recoil, and 197 horizontal recoil. Now it might have the highest horizontal recoil out of the weapons I will be listing today, however, it basically has none. I'll tell you, that stat's a bigger scam than LaCroix saying they have flavor. Now let's list some attachments here, fellas. For the muzzle on the HK416, I'm running the 1 mount along with the 1 multi-cal suppressor. Again, not an amazing reason I'm running this. I just kind of run whatever suppressor fits the drippiness the most, you feel me? I switch here and there. Sometimes I'll run the Wave. The Wave's pretty drippy. The Hybrid 46 is pretty good. I don't know. We're just running the 1 mount for this one though. We got the Glock tack light, purely for drip purposes. I also did want to mention the side rails for the tack lights. If you have the option to get the M-Lock, I believe is the only side tactical mount that provides ergonomics. So if you really want to, you could get a little crazy with it. You know, you could throw in an extra couple and then you'll have 2 extra ergonomics. If you're a fiend for ergo, go for that. But for now, I'm just rocking the 1. For our grip, you know it, you love it, the RK1. Again, merely for drip purposes, however, also for recoil purposes. The RK1 is among the special few family that provides minus 3% recoil. I believe, here, let's check. I believe only a couple provides some minus 3, the RK2, but it also gives, the RK2 provides minus 4% actually, but you'll get negative 8 ergo from it. Not really my cup of tea, to be honest. The SE5, I believe, is minus 2% recoil, but you'll get plus 8 ergo. So you'll kind of switch it out depending if you need the recoil or the ergo more, but for now I'm rocking the RK1. As for your upper receiver, you're just running the default. Now the pistol grip here you can also kind of switch out. I am however running the AR-15, what is this, Ergo PSG? I don't know, the Fat Daddy. Plus 15 ergonomics. You can also run the yellow one here, which I believe, the yellow one's plus 13. Another really good grip you can run here is the GRAL. Jesus, I've never looked at the names of these, to be honest. Also provides plus 15. You kind of switch these out. There's not much to the pistol grip besides providing ergonomics, so you kind of just looking for that. As for a stock, we're running the enhanced buffer tube. Normally, I would say use the ARE red buffer tube. That is the best one in the game. However, you can switch it out for the HK416, which I actually just found out. Look at me go, learning. 5 years of high school, I'll tell you, big brain. As for your stock, again, many options to choose from here, but I usually go with the MOE. Pick the color depending on your drip purposes, and then throw a butt pad on a hoe. Along with our barrel, I'm running the 20-inch 416 barrel. Again, kind of personal preference. I like them long boys for them long shots, you feel me? As for the charging handle, we're going with the Avalanche. You can also go for the Raptor. I believe they provide the same amount, plus 3 and plus 3. Every other charging handle, not as great. What is this one? Oh yes, different color. Oh, you can go with that if you want. As for our handguard, I usually rock the Crux 15. I don't know if you can apply this one depending on your barrel. I assume the shorter barrels can't have this one. But the Crux 15 handguard will provide you plus 11 ergo, minus 3% recoil, and the heating and cooling doesn't really matter. Another little extra I like to throw on, just for some ergonomics, is one of these sights. Gen 2 flip-up rear sight. FDE in this case. You can also run the non-FDE version, both providing +1 recoil. Again, you can also do that to the mounts over here. I don't know why I do one and not the other. I'm just weird like that. Anyways, that does it for our HK416 build. She's pretty saucy, I'll tell you. On to our next weapon of choice, probably my favorite weapon in the entirety of Tarkov, the DMR, the SR25 himself, baby. I'll tell you, something unlocks in me when I put on this puppy. Every single hip fire, every single shot, it's getting hit, I'll tell you, except for the ones that don't hit. Onto the attachments though. For the muzzle, we are rocking the PSR762, which in turn gives us the Thor suppressor. Again, I couldn't really tell you. This is kind of where my limited attachment knowledge comes into play. I know some suppressors are better than others, but I just kind of pick one that looks cool and call it a day. As for the gas block, however, I did pick this one for stats, specifically the CMMG low profile gas block. You could go with the KAC here, but you'll get a bit more recoil out of it. However, you'll go down 0.05 pounds if you're into that. Speaking of that, we didn't go over the stats. Our weight is sitting at a solid 5.1 pounds, ergo at 46. Our vertical recoil is sitting at 73, horizontal at 167. The recoil, of course, not mattering as much as it is a single fire weapon. However, we still want to bump it down as much as we can, because why not? Yet again, for the tac light combo here, we're running the Glock GTL. Again, just personal preference, just whatever I'm feeling at the time, I run it. The grip, however, though, this time we're running the SE5 and FDE. This is more of a tan build, so of course I chose the tan grip. I chose the SE5 over the RK1 because, like I said earlier, with DMRs, if you have to choose between ergonomics and recoil control, you probably want to choose the ergo. I will briefly go over the mags here. I do normally run the 25s. I know they are a bit more expensive. You could run the 50 round drum, but I mean, look at that ergo tank, -15. I wouldn't wish that on my grandmother. Moving on to our pistol grip here, we have chosen the other option out of the two best, the GRAL. Again, you can also run this motherfucker, this big ass dude right here. As for the buffer tube, I am running the AR-15 advanced receiver extension buffer tube, blah blah blah. I believe it is the second best buffer tube. For some reason, looking at it here, the muzzle velocity and accuracy get upped with the ARE. Don't exactly know how that works, but this is going to be kind of your more budget option for buffer tubes. Again, still a little expensive, but not nearly as much as the ARE Red is going to give you. Look at that, 300 grand. Ooh, golly. And moving on to a stock, again, I'm running the MOE FDE because it is a tan build along with the butt pad, of course. Along with our charging handle here, we don't have many options. +1 ergo for this one and plus nothing for the default, I assume that is. Again, we're running the +1 ergo flip up rear sight here that gets flipped down because we don't need that puppy. A 30mm ring mount. I just kind of choose whatever pops up at the time. Very informative video you're tuning into here. I usually rock the 16-inch barrel on the left here. However, if you want to rock the 20-inch, your recoil is going to be a little less. Doesn't really matter that much, but your ergo is going to tank by like a 9. As for the handguard, I see a lot of people rocking this. Stats kind of hold up. The RS-ASS handguard. Honestly, it is partly for drip. Isn't the best on ergo. If you're looking for solely ergo, I believe this one's your best bet. The Lancer LCH7 provides +10 ergo, -1% recoil. I believe this provides -2% recoil and +5 ergo. And of course, you know it, you love it. We chose the Razor scope. Very interchangeable for me, the scopes. Just depends on what I'm feeling at the time. I very much fancy the Tango, and I don't know why I'm not running it as it is a tan build, but we don't question it. And that does it for our SR25. I love this thing, baby. You can't knock it. Alrighty, moving on to our second to last gun of the video, the third gun overall, and the only submachine gun to start out with. We've got the UZI Pro. Now this is I believe the smallest Uzi, the 2x1. This one's a little bit of a meme build, I'll be honest. Originally, it did have the one mount suppressor on it, but I believe I was PMC farming for Light Keeper, and I took the suppressor off because I needed PMCs to be attracted to me, and I don't know, I just kind of enjoyed the goofiness of this thing. But let's start out with some stats here. A very, very small weight of 2.4 pounds. Actually, this I keep saying pounds, it's probably kilograms, but you've got a very satisfying 86 ergonomics, a vertical recoil of 42, and a horizontal of 146. Very tightly packed ergonomic fiend. If you want to go crazier on it, of course, switch out some of these attachments for a more ergo-based build. As for the sight though, I am rocking the Boss XE Reflex, a relatively new reflex. It was quite expensive when it first came out, but now it is only going for around 30 grand. I see it for 20 grand quite often, but the sight picture is so clean that I don't see how it's not used more. As for the muzzle on this no suppressor build, we got the retaining nut on there. You can take it off if you want, but that's just -1 recoil, or sorry, that's just -1 ergo. And why should we not take the ergo, baby? Fill me up with the ergo, pause. As for our foregrip, we have the RK1 on here. It can be a bit jumpy. It is a submachine gun, and we don't exactly need the ergonomics, so I went with the RK1. The barrels I actually haven't messed around with, as the UZI is a relatively new weapon. Looks like you can get pretty low here, 240. Yeah, you can go excessive with the 240, but again, this is kind of a meme build. I kind of like how short it is and how it's like a little bee, you know, it stings. As for the buffer tube, we talked about it enough. The ARE anodized red, quite expensive. Of course, to put that on, you'll need the folding knuckle stock adapter, just so you can put some buffer tubes on there. And of course, we went with the MOE carbine stock and the butt pad, respectively. Oh, looks like you need a couple things for the stock adapter. The CSM. Y'all got it. You can figure it out. Moving on to our final weapon of the night, the final DMR of the video, the G28. Now this thing's not used very often, and I kind of see why, but I enjoy using it still. Like every once in a while I'll be like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling a G28. It is relatively stiff. I tried to make up for that with as much ergo as I could. You can't exactly do a lot to this weapon, however, though. So we'll go over the stats. 4.8 kilograms, 55 ergonomics, which is pretty decent actually. 72 vertical recoil and 196 horizontal. Moving on to our attachments here, you get a solid 2 options when it comes to handguards. You have the extended and the regular. The extended somehow provides more ergonomics, along with the -3% recoil. The other stats don't really matter, so I'd generally stick with the extended here. Of course, the Razor 1-6 is a personal preference. The Alpha 4 mount, just to stick the puppy on there, +1 ergonomics with the flip-up sight. Charging handle is the only thing we can do with it. The stock is completely untouchable. The pistol grip is one of the best ones that we discussed, the GRAL. If you want more ergo, you could go with a 10-rounder. However, I wouldn't go that crazy. You might be shooting yourself in the foot with that one. The foregrip is an SE5. However, when I can run this solely, again, for drip purposes, I usually do, because I just kind of like the look of this thing. Makes me feel like I'm shooting a battle rifle, something straight out of Halo or some shit. Shout out Halo, by the way. Never really played it. Again, personal preference, I choose the Glock GTL tac light combo. Now here's a kind of a controversial one. If I had to change something about this build, it'd probably be the suppressor. For this one specifically, I rocked the normal suppressor. I think that was just because I kind of wanted to save money for some reason, even though I'm a billionaire, I guess. I don't know. Can't really defend myself on this one. Let me find a suppressor that'll be good for ergo here. Oh, look at me learning things. The DT Hybrid looks like our best option for ergonomics. There was another suppressor that gave me 56. I lost it, I ain't gonna lie. However, the DT Hybrid will provide us with 57 ergo instead of our normal whatever we started with. What do we start with? 55. Okay, so not that much of a difference, so it's not too bad. But if you want to min-max your ergo here, go for that. And again, for the barrel, can't really do nothing. Not a very modifiable weapon. However, I still wouldn't knock it. Still a fun one to use here and there. Well, fellas, that does it for a couple of my favorite weapon setups in Tarkov, and there are a lot more I want to go over. However, I thought I'd take kind of chunks here and there. If we went over every one of my weapon builds, this video would be like an hour and a half long. A Marvel feature film, if you will. Again, I'm sorry if this is a little weird, like weirdly formatted, pacing wise as well. This is a very new type of video for me. And again, I'm kind of jumping in the deep end here, trying to get this out for y'all after getting back from vacation. So after I upload this, I'll learn what I kind of don't like and what I like from this video, how I edit it, and then we'll go from there in future weapon build videos. But for now, that does it for me. I hope this was semi-watchable, and if it was, interact with the video in some way. You could sub, comment, and like all at once, but that's only if you're feeling like Saint Teresa herself. If you want, drop a like, do one of those things, do none of those things. I don't care, man. Do you, man. Do you. But for now, I'm out of here, and as always, thank you for joining me yet again. Have a good day, y'all. Bye-bye.